Hi guys, bethesda here. In today's video we are in downtown Boston between Bunker Hill and Poseidon Energy. And we're building a town on a bridge. Let's get into it. I've always been a lover of settlements made on bridges, and I was just traveling around and I found this unmarked location. It's just between Poseidon Energy over there and Bunker Hill is just up there. There is a named bridge over there, which is the Tuck Memorial Bridge. I chose this one. Look more useful with having a power plant right next to it. So starting out, I kind of want to fortify this area here. So I'm going to build a little gatehouse that will allow a bit more control to get through to Poseidon Energy. Just figured that we would start off like fairly simple, so rather than allowing vehicles and stuff come through here, it's literally just a small door. Can't get rid of that truck, annoyingly, but I figured we could put some turrets up here and it gives us a decent view over the water if we wanted to have people up here as well. But I'm gonna build a enclosure here. This is looking a bit more put together now, so got a little gate on this side and this is fully enclosed, so there's no easy path to get into there. Also made a little guard shack, make sure nobody comes through when they're not supposed to. As for the other side of the bridge, I want this to be a way for vehicles and stuff to get through. So I'm just going to build a small gatehouse here, and we'll probably have some sort of check-in area within here. So here is our little gatehouse on the other side, and we're going to have to shimmy the gate across a bit, like it's nicely centered on the road here, but it will make it rather awkward for putting any sort of structure on the side here. This is the structure I came up with. Kinda didn't fancy having just a square little hut here, so I kinda baked it into the side, so you can't actually get into this area, but it just makes that shape of the structure that bit more interesting. And I thought, why not have the ability to actually look out here rather than having a solid junk wall on the back. But next we're going to go out here and we're going to figure out a layout for the actual living area of the settlement. So hear me out, there is some method to this madness. This bridge is slightly too small to fit 3 full-size floors across. So what I've done is I've lined place with them on the edges, so this goes all the way down, and my plan is to put the structures on here. And I'm going to start out by boxing in the workbench, put in like a little maintenance shed. It's a pretty basic shed that I've put together using stuff from G2M and Matic Practical. My plan will be to slowly remove these floor pieces when I add in additional shops and some places for people to sleep. I'm not going to have just a perfect straight line down the middle, like it will kind of be a weavy street, but I'm just going to keep these here for now because it gives me an idea of how much space I actually have, and it just means that I don't end up trying to build something and it ends up smack dab on top of this, for example. I might do some bits where things start to overlap, like make it look a bit overgrown, we'll say. If you're liking the video so far, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Right, so I've got our first shop slash living quarters. So my plan was to have this as maybe one or two shops. Haven't quite decided just yet, but I wanted to give us a slightly bigger area to work with, so it's not even half a floor extra, but it breaks up the shape across the bottom, and up on top it does have a bit of a weird shape, but it's all supported by the large supports. And if I come round, we've got more of these junk walls on this side and a staircase to go up, and this will be the little living area. I need to patch up some stuff with it, but the general idea is there. And what I want to do, if I can figure it out, is I kind of want it to almost be like a 2-level thing, so I can put a bridge along the edge here to go across to this section, so kind of have the ability to access different living quarters without having to put steps everywhere. I think it could turn out alright. So I'm gonna put in another building on this side. It's gonna overlap here a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. I really need to work out the physics of this. Obviously, at the moment, it will not withstand anything in there because there is nothing on underneath. But I wanted to kind of figure out how this would work. So you come across the bridge, and we've got a little living quarters. Nothing too fancy. It's got a very weird shape to it. But we're going to put like another stall down here. Kind of want to do it nice and open like this one, but I don't think I'll have the bit on the front. So let's see what I can do with that. Please ignore all the shooting. I'm assuming it's coming from somewhere in that direction, but it hasn't. If you've got any ideas of where I could build next, please let me know in the comments below, or head over to the Discord server. You'll find the link in the description. I couldn't really decide how I wanted to support the house bit on the top, so I used the new shack walls, like the diagonal pieces, but I flipped them upside down and they were a bit of a pain to get placed in, but it gives us a little extra room and it really helps the look of the actual build as well. And I'm going to do some decorating, so just bear with me. So for the shops, I'm going to do a clinic, a clothes shop and a weapon shop. I will obviously add additional shops later on, but that's what these 3 little buildings are going to be. Decided to enclose them a bit just to make it a bit more put together, we'll say. For now, I'm just going to be doing the decoration on the shop as well as the little workshop. I'm going to hold off decorating the gatehouses because I don't want to end up tanking my frames. I'm going to call it there and show you a quick run through of what I've got so far. So on one side of the bridge we've got the gatehouse with a little check-in desk. Haven't decorated this, but we'll just be having a couple of guards in here. We'll be able to watch out over there as well. And I'm gonna see about putting some turrets up in those little holes, but that will come later because you're not going to be spending much time in this section. And as we go through, I will remove these floor pieces, but they've definitely proved helpful for this first part of the build. So I've kind of made sure I can reinforce the bits on the top. So we've got some scaffolding holding up the edge there, and we've got the posts. So we've got our little workman shed thing, and we can come in here and got just a bunch of tools and bits of equipment around. got his little clipboard just for his work orders. Keep everything in order, really. And if we come out here, what's that? Got the power generator just underneath. Kind of worked out like the perfect size for our little walkway up the top. Does make for a tight squeeze, so you'll be lucky to get like your Brahmin and stuff through here, but it's more for pedestrians, really. I haven't decorated the houses up here, so they're just all empty. We've got our weapon shop. It's nicely fortified, but you can see in, so that's not going to be overwhelmed by fumes and stuff. Heavy metal door there. I managed to get one of the weapons rack frames onto that slanted wall, which I thought looked pretty cool. And I've got weapons just like lying on the back there as well. So it's rather cramped and a bit of a mess in here. Not really sure how well a big rifle is going to be for protecting the shop. Like pointing a rifle at them through this little gap, but it's there. They could sell it, you know. But this guy just has way too much stock in here. And then we've got our chemist. You can see I've like placed a couple of these construction benches. There's one further down there as well. We're having the idea that it's still being built up. We've got just a few little bits in here. I actually like piled a proper vendor on top of the Thematic and Practical counter. So this looks very messy put together. And I just thought this was cool because I didn't even know the lamp actually worked. So from back here, it looks like they've just attached the lantern to a broken light. Even though the bulb works, it doesn't actually give out any light. Again, this one's quite a cluttered little area. And try to keep it as realistic as I could to make sure the upper bits were supported. So we've got the big supports just kind of sticking into the wall there. And I've added some steps here because I did want to make it so like we could have like bolts and stuff under here. So that will be done later on. I thought that was a nice little way to get down. And we have our clothes shop. Again, way too cluttered in here. Can't really get much done. And I didn't want to use too many electrical lights, so we've got quite a few of these barrels that we're going to be using, and the lanterns just to have the light throughout the settlement, because as you can see we've got walkways up here, and I'm planning on doing that like mostly all the way through. So we'll just have a little walk up there. So this is going to be made into a house for somebody to live in. And then our first little walkway. I didn't want it just to be perfectly flat, straight lines. So you can tell this is like kind of thrown together, and use like conduits and stuff to like hold up the railings. That was before I put those big posts on the bottom, like, but that's fine. So we've got another small home here, and up here we've got our home that we got with a very weird shape with the door on the wrong way. It killed us there. Need to switch that around. So this will be another home, and I will extend this over. I'm going to start building stuff down here, and I'm going to like put it's the nautical themed stuff, like it's got like the lures and the buoys on there, or buoys as some people call them. I don't actually know what they're called. I suppose it depends where you're from, but I'm gonna like have them going along here between the buildings just to make it look that bit more authentic, we'll say. So I'm not really sure what my plan for the next part of this is, but we do have a decent amount of space left. Probably fit another building on this side, decent sized building on this side, and probably 2 down here, 2 or 3 maybe, and then another 2 on this side with stuff up the top as well. And then we've got our little enhanced security side over here. So we've got our guard shack with access to turrets that are going to go up there. I will figure out how to get a turret up there as well. And I'm going to do something to make it seem as though we're pulling some power from Poseidon Energy as well. But let me know what you want to see us build in the comments below, because this is already bigger than I was expecting it to be. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.